Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, Cards International Ghana backs calls to sanction subscribers delaying in SIM card re-registration.
I think the sanctions should rather be put on the SIM cards that have not been registered, so that if you have not been registered, you can only send or receive 50 Ghana cedis Momo a day.
Also, Bank of Ghana expresses worry over involvement of bank staffs in increasing financial fraud cases in the country. Also, about 1,500 women farmers across the country to receive free fertilizers to boost farm yields. We have all of this and more coming up in the next 30 minutes. My name is Beverly Broohm. Do stay with me. Hello and welcome. Now to the details. Telecom subscribers who have not registered their SIM cards have exactly a month to do so or lose their numbers. But data from the Ghana Telecoms Chamber shows registration numbers have fallen by 98% since an extension was announced. It appears the public have relaxed because of the extension. The extension is coming at a cost to the telcos and they cannot afford another extension. Well, the Chamber of Telecommunications is calling for sanctions for subscribers who still have not registered. Listen to the Chief Executive speak to us on the marketplace yesterday.
When you run through the data, you find out that when it was getting close to July, that's when a lot more people started, going to the various centers. And so the last minute attitude is something that is there. So what we definitely need to do is to be able to separate those who do not have the Ghana card. And so no matter what you do, they will not be able to register. But for those who have, and if you look at the large chunk between those who have done the the first step and those who have done the biometric capture, that's still a lot of Ghanaians. So in the coming days, industry working together with a regulator under the policy direction of the minister, there would be some discomfort that will start happening. Typical example would be that you would want to make, if you have not registered, you would want to make a call and then it would direct you to say, if you really want to complete this call, then go and get your SIM registered. You might be able to receive calls from those who have registered, but for you who want to make a call, maybe for some days, you would not be able to make the call till you go and get your biometric capture done. And once you do that, then you'll be able to make the call. The good thing is that now when you go to most of these centers, there are no queues there. So those who have Ghana cards would definitely be able to register. And we know that the self-registration app has also been deployed. So for our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, or for those of you who have enough resources, and you're very busy, you can pay 5 CDs and then get your self-registration done.
But how is that going though?
Well, I know that it's just been launched. I'm sure there's going to be some advertisements to educate people, because what will happen is that when you do your 404, there is a unique code that is given to you. And that unique code, you need to input it in once you are doing your registration. One of the recommendations I would give to the technical people behind this is that the point at which you make the payment should be deferred till the point where all your biometrics have been captured and everything is ready. Because what tends to happen these days is that if there's a technical challenge, if you're not careful, you would have made payments and you have to make the payment again to be able to complete it. But apart from that, I think it's a very seamless, and user-friendly process that you can use.
Meanwhile, CAT International Ghana has backed calls for sanctions to be placed on individuals who are hesitating to register their SIM cards. Here's its coordinator, CAT International, Apia Kusi Adomako. Now, away from that, the Bank of Ghana is expressing worry that the increasing involvement of banking staffs in reported cases of fraud in the financial sector is likely to reduce confidence in the sector. To this end, the central bank is charging the Committee for Cooperation between the law enforcement agencies and banking community to step up efforts in dealing with fraud cases coming from the industry. Second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, LC Edu Awaji, in a speech to open a workshop for the committee, charged members to concentrate attention on dealing with the menace before it gets out of hand. Here's a report.
The workshop is part of collaborative efforts by the central bank and law enforcement agencies to deal with growing financial crimes in the banking sector. According to the second deputy governor at the central bank, LC Edu Awaji, the sector players need to come up with measures to deal with fraud challenges, especially on electronic channels.
Disturbing still is the fact that most of the reported cases of fraud involve staff and other insiders of these financial institutions. Another worrying trend from the report is the increasing levels of fraud associated with electronic money channels such as ATMs, mobile money, and other forms of electronic banking. This report brings home very disturbing findings, which I do hope engage you as you need today. Members of COCLA, I urge you to take a very critical look at these developments and identify concrete measures to help to address the underlying factors so that we can reverse these worrying trends.
He also tasked the committee to remain committed to the fight against illegal operations in the foreign exchange market.
We strongly appeal to your good selves to support the Bank of Ghana's efforts to sanitize the forex bureau sector by strictly enforcing existing rules for the fair and transparent conduct of business by licensed forex bureau, and by clamping down on illegal forex operations, the so-called black market. While the Bank of Ghana regulates the forex bureau sector, we rely heavily on your criminal investigative and enforcement powers to be able to help with enforcement efforts.
The workshop is also expected to discuss some working conditions of banking staff in the country.
Now, total financing anomalies in public sector organizations in 2021 stood at 17.48 billion, according to latest 2021 Auditor General's report. This is a 30.0% as compared to 46 billion from 12. Now let's take the infographs. Outstanding debts, loans, recoverables, credit, power sales irregularities stood at 16.3 billion. Cash irregularities related to the misapplication of funds, budget overruns, payment not authenticated, and payment of board allowance to council members without ministerial approval amounted to 505.80 million. Payroll irregularities amounting to 8.24 million were caused by the failure of management to exercise due diligence. Now, the tax irregularities related to failure to pay statutory tax Deduction on the due dates and non-deduction of applicable taxes amounted to 23.57 million. Contract irregularities mainly related to the payment for construction projects not undertaken by various public boards, corporations and other statutory institutions amounted to 283.77 million. Now, reacting to this development, procurement specialist Dr. Kankson Bente blames the 17.4 billion loss to management's oversight, hence the need for measures to enforce the provisions of the procurement law.
Report, one of the key things I have come to terms with is the fact that there is a likelihood, looking at the financial impact, what it means is that those procurement activities were conducted without recourse to procurement authority, in line with the Act 2016, as amended 914. What it means is that it is likely that processes were actually, the procurement methods, the appropriate methods were actually used. However, without clearances or without compliance with the Act, which is an infraction. So, therefore, what I am of the opinion is, my opinion is that the procurement department, and for that matter, the function within the respective need to ensure that they are compliant with the Act.
Right.
Management must have to put in measures to enforce the provisions of the Act. Anytime there is a procurement initiative to be embarked on. So the lacking management oversight, I think, is a source of concern. It is important that the Act is respected in a manner that we do not find ourselves in the situation that we're in. A few recommendations also is it the case that there are interferences within, prior to the processes, for which reason the responsible officers managing the procurement process failed or were obstructed? I'm using obstruction advisedly.
Thanks for staying with us here on Business Live. Let's take a look at some other stories now. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center is upbeat about transmitting some of the remittances from abroad into investment funds. The country's remittances in 2020 was estimated at $3.6 billion, about 5% higher than what was recorded in 2019. There's a report.
The GIPC has been undertaking several expos solely and in collaboration to attract several investments into the country. According to Director of Investor Services Division at the center, Edward Ashon Latte, Ghana is very interested in harnessing diaspora resources.
We've been trying for a long time to see how best we can channel some of these remittances into investment funds. As most people know, it's to keep body and soul together. But if you look at the quantum, we believe that if it's properly structured, we can still have some set aside to support businesses. So we are very much interested in this event, and Ghana is well positioned to harness this diaspora resource. From the government side, you can see that at the highest level, government is paying a lot of attention to diaspora by establishing the diaspora office at the presidency. At the GIPC, we have also established a diaspora investment desk to really hold the hand of diasporans, make them aware of what is happening and how to make their re-entry as smooth and memorable as possible.
Dubbed Ghana Nigerian Business and Investment Conference, the event, which will come off in October, will focus on 6 key sectors including oil and gas, agriculture and healthcare. Nadia Tichua Mensah is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana Nigerian Business and Investment Conference and has been telling Joy Business the conference provides many opportunities for Ghanaian and Nigerian businesses.
There are a lot of Ghanaian businesses and Nigerian businesses that are looking for investment into their businesses here. We've got brilliant, creative people, but one of the biggest challenges are resources. So this opportunity, this investment drive that we're doing, actually exposes Ghanaian and Nigerian businesses to international investors who could potentially be interested in investing in their business. So that's one way for us to look. As I mentioned, there's a lot of Americans out there that are asking, how can we invest into businesses? How can we be part of the dialogue and the conversation of what's going on in Ghana, Nigeria, or the continent as a whole? So this exact event presents them with that opportunity.
Now, 1,500 women farmers across the country will soon receive free fertilizers to boost their yields. HJA Africa, an organic fertilizer manufacturing company, will be donating fertilizers worth 50,000 cedis as part of its corporate social responsibility. Speaking to Joy Business, Chief Executive of HJA Africa, Henry Abraham, says the goal is to help millions of smallholder farmers find sustainable business modules that will enable them run their farms profitably.
HJA Africa is the producer of organic farming aid OFA fertilizer. It will, through its corporate social responsibility program, provide free OFA to selected women smallholder farmers through a number of delivery partners like the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana and the African Fertilizer and Agribusiness Partnership. According to its chief executive, Henry Abraham, a recent research by the CSIR Savannah Agricultural Research Institute, SARI, showed the increase in patronage due to high yields and motivated him to give back.
Today we've announced a new CSR initiative by HJ Africa, working with some very good partners. We're working with AFAP and with the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. They're going to be our distributors for free offer going to smallholder women farmers in selected regions, because we know we can transform the profitability of their farms, but they may not know that yet. So if they have a free sample which allows them to work with an acre and see what they can do with it, the best kind of help is something that provides sustainable livelihoods for people, where they can have a business model that works for them. We're allocating at the moment 50,000 cedis worth of product, and that should mean that more than 1,500 women farmers can trial on a whole acre of their farm to see what it can do for them.
Agric expert Edward Kariwe lauded the initiative and urged other companies to take a cue by developing homegrown solutions to address challenges.
These are people who have been working within the local environment, and then they are really in appreciation of the challenges that farmers face, and have worked with farmers to develop, a solution to our challenges. And these are enduring solutions. These are solutions that we can vouch for. These are not imported solutions. We are not saying that necessarily all the time imported solutions are no good. But it is critical that we try to, develop homegrown solutions which target our specific challenges, rather than always relying on foreign technology, foreign solutions that are generic and sometimes are not very helpful when we apply them in our own environment.
Mabel Akoto Kujo, one of the farmers who use OFA fertilizer, testified that she increased from 3 tons per hectare to 4.5 tons per hectare after using the organic fertilizer.
I'm an organic farmer, and if I was introduced to OFA, we were not using anything at all. But then we were having few problems with pests and fungus. So after being introduced to OFA, we started applying it on our farms. And one thing I realized was that after applying OFA, we get results right from the root into the whole plant. And it boosted the yields. We're getting like 3 tons per hectare. But after using OFA, we are now getting 4.5 metric tons per hectare.
A Rwandan delegation comprising its Pharmacy Council and other relevant stakeholders are in Ghana to explore bilateral opportunities in the pharmaceutical sector for economic development and public health protection. The delegation has been meeting with the leadership of the Faculty of Pharmacy at KNUST and the Pharmacy Council of Ghana for prospective collaborations to train more pharmacists in bridging the workforce deficit in Rwanda. There's more in this following report.
The delegation since arrival has been holding consultative dialogue with the Pharmacy Council of Ghana and the National Health Insurance Authority for resource mobilization strategies. According to Permanent Secretary and Registrar for the Rwanda National Pharmacy Council, Jean Damascene Senyorokuri, Rwanda is challenged with huge deficits of pharmacists to patients. Rwanda presently has less than 2,000 pharmacists, with 12 pharmacy technicians serving the over 12 million population. In the light of expanding its workforce, the delegation met with the leadership at the College of Health Sciences of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to initiate formal collaborations.
Our pharmacy profession is evolving in the country, and due to the vision of the country to become a center of pharmaceutical industries by 2050, as a regulator of the pharmacy profession, we decided to make a field visit in renowned countries with high level of regulation in the pharmaceutical sector, with high level of education in the pharmacy programs, and then we are here in Ghana.
Mr. Senyorokuri says the collaboration is an effort to safeguard public safety in both countries.
The main aim is the public health protection. We are aiming at public health protection. And the vision of the Ghana Pharmacy Council is to become a center of pharmaceutical care provider. So our own is to become a good regulator, or the public health protection is our main mission.
Deputy Registrar Operations at the Pharmacy Council of Ghana, Dr. Daniel Ameni Dankwa, believes the collaboration could help make Africa a leading pharmaceutical hub and avoid importation of drugs from Western countries.
It's possible. It's possible because we have the raw material and many other opportunities to be able to do so. And you would also realize that most of the diseases that you need medicines to resolve are here with us in a large scale, and we don't have these high-class production facilities to produce these specialized medicines. And so the effort to develop this in Africa is a great opportunity for growth in Africa. It will limit the importation.
Delighted about the collaborations, Provost of the College of Health Sciences, KNUST, Professor Christian Ajari, indicated the partnership would allow formal educational exchanges between the two countries.
With the collaboration, I think it's going to help the faculty in impacting knowledge and experience to the Rwandese pharmacy students. So for them to, some of them, the faculty will be coming to the faculty and that of the college to learn some few things in terms of teaching and then research. So I think it's going to help to push the institutions in the Rwanda to a higher level, and also the reputation that the university is also enjoying.
For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
That's all for Business Live here on the Joy News channel. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Beverly Broohm. Enjoy the rest of our program.